Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another reading vlog. How are you? I hope you're good. I'm not. I'm just kidding. Well, um, anyways, today I am back with another reading vlog that is going to be different, however, than the regular reading vlogs, because today I'm reading books out of my comfort zone. The comfort zone's there. I'm going over here. Okay. I am going to be reading 3 romance novels. Now, the closest I get to romance is romantasy, which is pretty heavy on the romance. So I'm hoping that I can read these and not want to die, but we'll see. We'll see. So 3 books that I ordered from thrift books because I'm not paying full price for these. I'm not going to keep them. Hopefully, I can give them to like a classmate or someone, but ultimately, they're going to end up at the thrift store, probably. So, I'll start off with the one that I'm probably going to hate the most. I've pretty much only heard bad things. You might know what I'm what I'm choosing. I didn't pick any dark romance because I'm not crazy like that. If you want to see a video of me reading Penelope Douglas, first of all, you're preying on my downfall. But second of all, someone will have to supply me these books because I am not purchasing them. Anyways, first book that I'm going to be reading, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. The only thing that I can think is positive about this is that it is a Star Wars fanfiction, but I also don't like the characters that it's about anyways, so maybe it's not upside, it's just neutral. So this is like a woman in STEM, a romance. Okay, I'm gonna read you the back, because that man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and a well-known ass, which is why I'll live positively floored. Is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding, his 6-pack abs. Now, if that doesn't make you want to read a book, I'm slightly regretting my decision here. How long is this? Okay, it doesn't hit 400 pages. If it went over 400 pages, I might just spontaneously combust. But it's not. It looks like it's about 360. Okay, yeah, this is the first book. So the second book I have a little bit more hope for, which is not saying much. The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Now, this is a book of the month book of the month book. I was not aware of that. The last book was also apparently a library binding. I didn't know that either. But anyways, The Bodyguard. Arguably not a terrible cover. I'm not a fan of cartoony characters on the cover, but these ones aren't the worst ones I've seen. This one, I think she's the bodyguard. That's what I've heard. I know Ellen Catherine. I'm pretty sure she loves this book. Or at least likes it. I know Catherine Center's a popular one with the romance girlies. So I'm hoping this one is pretty tolerable. Let me see how long this one is. It's like 297 pages. So that's gonna hopefully go fast. unless the writing style sucks, it should go fast, God willing. Okay, so I don't know. I think this one has the possibility for me to like kind of enjoy it, but again, though, it is like contemporary romance. So, not off to a good start with that. But the third book, I think there's actually a chance of me enjoying, and that is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Now, I've heard that Casey McQuiston is pretty good for a romance one, and they made this book where it's like kind of magical realism almost. So I think that will be the saving element to this book. First of all, it's gay. Second of all, magical realism. But I know this is also just like a pretty well respected author. I think they have some bangers, at least from what I've heard. So I'm hoping this is good. I mean, it's about this girl that's stuck on a train since like the 70s or something, and then she like rizzes up this I didn't need to say riz. Apparently she's been stuck on this train and this girl falls in love with her, I guess. And I think they have to try and figure out how to get her off this train. I'm not sure, but I've also heard that it is like a big found family and like friendship book, which I love. I love when there's amazing friendships in books. So I hope this one works. I've also heard it's very steamy. I'm not the biggest fan of spice in books, but if it's written well, sometimes I do like it. You know, like 1 to 2 scenes. That can be good when it's placed correctly. When they're getting down to business after they've been on a war trek for like 3 weeks, I don't appreciate that. In a fantasy book, I don't appreciate that. But sometimes it works for me. So, I am also reading for a different video at the moment. So this is my first time like balancing 2 videos at the same time. But I think I can get it done. These should be pretty easy. It's not like I have to follow any magic systems or anything, so they should be fine. But I think I'm going to start off with the love hypothesis. Just because I think I want to save best for last. So I'm just going to go from what I think would be the worst, and then second worst, and then the third. Got it? Okay. So I'll see you when I've started this book. And hopefully, I'm not hating my life. Okay? Okay, I did record this pretty much all the way with my mic and everything, but my phone died. So, we are just here in my bed, no microphone. I'm gonna give you an update on this book, okay? If you mind, get out. Anyways, I am 188 pages into this book, and it's honestly like not bad. It reads exactly like a fan fiction, which is what it is. It's a novelized fan fiction, and it reads like it, but it reads like it in a positive way, mostly positive. Because if this was like a webcomic, I'd be eating it up. Okay. Now, if I was in the Barnes and Noble and they're like, do you want to buy this book for $16? I would say no. I would say that's insulting. Don't ever suggest that to me again. But since I paid like $6 for it, because it was secondhand, not terrible. I'm still not gonna keep it. I will be giving this to a friend. But it's decent. I'm not like upset with it. The only times that I do get irked is when they mention how big and tall and how handsome and broody he is. So halfway through, these are my tabs. Okay. All of those tabs are when specifically he is mentioned to be tall. Not when they mention how big or like wide or how much space he takes up. I didn't do that. Those are purely just when he's mentioned as tall, or like when they mention the height difference between the two of them. It definitely, I don't want to hear it ever again. It does make me want to throw the book down a little bit, but for the most part, I can get over it. It's honestly, it is what it is at this point. I've just accepted it. That's just how it's gonna be. About halfway, if not exactly halfway, pretty much. I'm just gonna finish this tonight. It's reading very quickly. Like I said, reading like a fan fiction, so just going extremely fast, which is good. I was worried that these were going to read very slowly because I was like, I'm not gonna be like loving I'm not gonna be super invested, and I'm not gonna like be, you know, I'm just not gonna be emotionally invested in these books. But surprisingly, not going by slow at all. It's going by very fast, and I'm very thankful for that. So I am going to just continue reading this book, and I'll give you an update when I'm done. Okay? See you in a second. Okay, you guys, it is Saturday morning, and last night I finished The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood, and honestly, I didn't hate it nearly as much as I thought I would. I rated this book 3 stars. This has absolutely come as a shock to me, since I thought this one I would hate the most out of the 3 options, but 3 stars is like a good rating. You know, like 2.5 is like middle of the road. I thought it was kind of good, but only in the sense that I read this as if it was just fan fiction or a web comic of sorts. This book honestly read super fast, so I wasn't like terribly upset with it. If it was for some reason reading super slow, like if the writing was just not meshing with me at all and was reading slow, I would not like this story. But since it went so fast, it doesn't feel like I wasted my time at all or anything. And honestly, towards the end, you can see by my tabs, they kind of stopped mentioning how tall and big he is. So that was a plus. Again, the tabs are just mentioning when he's tall, not how wide he is or how much space he takes up. I would have had to tab every page if I did it that way. So, and just mentioning how tall he was the thing that just kind of irked me the most. So it stopped pretty abruptly, which I appreciated. Maybe she got sick of writing it herself. I don't know. But overall, it was just kind of fun. It was just kind of fun. Now, would I want to buy this? No. But if this was like a Kindle Unlimited book and someone was like, you need to read this, it's like so fun, and then it's on Kindle Unlimited, I'm gonna go read it. But if you told me that I had to buy this retail, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Buying it secondhand, I would say it's worth it. If you can get this book at like the thrift store or on Thrift Books or whatever, it's worth a shot, honestly. It's definitely, it has its moments. There is one line that was really, when I think about that line, it does make a shudder go through my body. And I'm not going to repeat that line because I think I would have to just pass away if I said that out loud. So, if you know, you know. It's during the spicy scene. There's just a sentence that, if you know, you know. It had to do with his mouth and her boob. That's all I'm gonna say. So, ignoring that, if I took that out of the book, it's okay. It's not bad. Now that I'm thinking about that line though, it's just stuck in my head. And now it's gonna be stuck in my head for a while, and I'm not happy about that, but I thought I should let you know. Okay, anyways, 3 stars, I guess. I'm not upset with it. I'm not, sorry, that line is getting to me. I'm not super happy with it, but it was fine. It was fun. I will promptly be giving this to a classmate of mine, as I don't want this on my shelf. I mean, you could see what's on my shelf. It won't fit. The salami lid won't fit. Okay. So last night I also did start The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I'm like literally 20 pages in, and I'm not gonna put the dust jacket on this. I'm gonna leave this cover on it because I don't want to take it off and put it back on. So imagine that this is the actual cover of the book. I'm reading The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I just said that. 20 pages in, I also just said that as well, but I mean, obviously if I say 20 pages in one more time, being 20 pages in, obviously I don't know much about this book so far. The writing is not bad, not noticeably bad 20 pages in. If it was, that would be concerning. It's fine. It's reading fine. One thing I will say, the boyfriend that she breaks up with in the beginning, which is not a spoiler because that is not the name that's on the blurb. The boyfriend she breaks up with, his name is Robbie. Robbie? Is that like a normal name and I'm just being stupid? Robbie? Like it's in between Rodney and Bobby. What's Robbie? I thought that was strange. Especially reading that at 1 in the morning. I was really confused. Now that I'm saying it the next morning, it kind of sounds normal, but still weird. If someone told me they named their son Robbie, I would think they were weird, honestly. Maybe I'm just being a hater. Okay, but I'm glad I'm glad she and he break up, because if I had to read that name throughout the entire 300 pages, I might go crazy. I can't remember what the name of the actual love interest is. It's something basic like Jack or something. But it is better. Still not a fun name, but it is better. I'm better than reading Robbie for the next 300 pages. So, anyways, I will continue reading this book, and I think I might finish it before I'm able to give you an update, so we'll see. Either in the next clip, I will have it finished, or I will be most of the way done, give you an update. We'll see. We'll see, but it's really short, so I think I'm just gonna finish this while I'm out of the house today. So we'll see you in a second. Okay, you guys, I have officially finished book 2 of this video, The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, and I will say I was right in my prediction that I would enjoy this more than The Love Hypothesis, but not by much. Since I rated Love Hypothesis a 3-star, which was surprising for me, this one, technically on Goodreads it is rated a 3-star, but I did rate it like a 3.5 star. But I couldn't, in good faith, bring it up to a 4-star on Goodreads, so it is stuck as a 3-star. But overall, I mean, it was just kind of fun. It was just like a fun, kind of fluffy romance. Golden Retriever boy, you know how it is. The only thing that brought it down from a 4-star to a 3.5 was there was the occasional dialogue where I like physically cringed, but less so than there was in the Love Hypothesis. That's why it's getting the 3.5. Love Hypothesis got 3 because it was a lot more cringy and a lot more difficult to get through. But overall, pretty good. There was a twist at the end. I was not expecting a twist. I really was not. I should have, though, realistically, because the book had gone too smoothly at that point. So, yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. Pleasantly surprised. Still was a happy ending. I'm assuming most romance books are. But what I'm learning is I should give more romance books a try. You know? I never really thought that that was just going to be my thing because I'm such a fantasy and sci-fi person. I love the atmosphere that those books have, and I didn't think that a romance, especially more of like a rom-com, I didn't think I would enjoy that, like at all. But it was kind of fun. I did have to push myself through the last like 100 pages, but it was still fine. I'm not upset with it. Pleasantly surprised. But yeah. I mean, that's kind of all I have to say on that book. Not much going on. Pretty basic. There was actually no spice. I thought there was going to be, for whatever reason, but there wasn't. So that was actually nice. I enjoyed that. um, I don't think the book needed it at all. It was perfectly fine as is. So yeah, 3.5 stars. I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay, so the last and final book. That's what last means. It also means final. I'm really good with the English language. Last book for this video is One Last Stop, which I just realized how fitting that is. I absolutely did not drop that, but yeah, One Last Stop for this video. It is. I did not plan that. But here we are. One Last Stop. It is a sapphic kind of magical realism read. And I also, I realized when I was looking into these books, I thought that this author also made like the Delilah Green Doesn't Care, or like, what's it, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date? I thought that was the same author, but it's not. But it's not. I was so convinced. So, I think I need to try and read one of those books too. Because I thought it was the same person writing them, but it's not. The cartoony covers, it's just, they all look like they could be made by the same author. It's very hard to tell. So, anyways, I'm super excited for this one. I'm going to try and finish this tonight. If it's like very gripping, I should be able to. But if I'm just not super excited, then obviously it's gonna take me longer. If I'm not enthralled by the book, it takes you longer. That's math for you. But yeah, I'm starting this tonight, and we'll see how far we get. I'll update you probably somewhere around halfway. I'm not sure. Yeah, I will see you then. Okay, you guys, I have started One Last Stop. I am about, looks like 140 pages in so far, so I'm getting close to halfway. And I love this book. I love this book so much. Everybody was so right. This is just, it's perfect. It has this huge fantastical element to it. So it's really, it's grabbing me by the throat, you know? Maybe you don't, but One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I have a strong inclination that this is going to be a 5-star book for me, which I was not expecting. I was expecting like 4 stars, but with the way things are going, I'm pretty sure this is going to be 5 stars. I mean, I love the characters, the friendship, the relationship that's happening or going to happen. I just love it. It's so, I can see why a lot of people say that these are like their comfort characters. Like they love this book. It's a comfort read. It makes sense. It's a very comforting book, especially if you are queer, especially if you are sapphic. This is very comforting, and I love it. Okay? I love it. That's my update so far. If I, in the next clip, come back and I say that I don't actually give this book 5 stars, I'm going to be very surprised. So, I'll see you then. You guys are gonna have to bear with me because I'm filming this probably like a week after I finished the second book. I have finally finished One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. And pause. Okay, it's not that I put off finishing this book. It just happened. Okay, it just happened. I'm in a bit of a reading slump. I finished a few things in between with working on my past video and then just in general life. Life is happening very fast. So, but I did finally finish One Last Stop, and my bookmark is still in there because I finished this on audiobook because I like the audiobook. It was good. So, overall, I gave it 4 stars. Kind of a high 4-star, but it was just missing something to make it like a 5-star book. I think what made it a 4-star instead of a 5-star book for me was that there was like some very cringe moments, and you can tell that this is written by a millennial. So if they are not a millennial, I apologize, but like, are you sure? You know, I'm almost positive that they are a millennial because you can just tell. Okay, when you're Gen Z like me, you can just tell. There's just a certain way to it. Okay, if you know, you know. I thought that the romance was good. I liked the plot too. This definitely, when I said that it would be my favorite out of the 3, I was very much correct. The magical realism part of it really did keep me going because I'm like, is this girl, like, are they gonna figure out this situation. Not only are they going to figure out the situation, I keep getting interrupted by my phone saying that my storage is almost full, which I don't know why they keep saying almost full, because if it's almost full, that means you can record more. Am I wrong? Anyways, I loved the plot with this, okay? And I will say this might be a spoiler if you're kind of like me, but I'm just gonna say it because I kind of wish I would have known, kind of glad that I didn't, but it is a happy ending. Okay? It is a happy ending. You just are along for the ride, okay? I did not think it was going to be a happy ending, especially because I was listening to it on audiobook and not reading it physically. I couldn't see how much of the book was left, and then we got to that point and I was like, oh. Oh. But it is a happy ending, which I almost always require, okay? At least needs to be like a mostly happy ending. But especially when what's a romance book's like, when it's a romance book, you need it to be like a happy ending. Like, especially looking at this cover, it doesn't look like it should be devastating. So, like, if they don't end up together, then that's not a happy ending because it's a romance book and that's the whole thing that's going on. Like, when I think of books with like sad endings, but also it's like fine, I think of Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo, which there was very much sadness, but also not too much to where I disliked it, you know? But anyways, this concludes my reading out of my comfort zone, and honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised, okay? I'm pleasantly surprised. I think that if there's ones that are like heavily recommended to me, especially more like sapphic reads like this one, I think I might just like look into it and actually read them because it was kind of fun, okay? Anyways, to give you a full wrap up of what I read in this video, I read first The Love Hypothesis. I rated this 3 stars. Definitely a low 3-star, if not like a 2.5, 2.75. But I felt like it deserved that extra star just because like I'm obviously not the target demographic. But I thought it was fun. I thought like the writing style wasn't terrible. It was very intriguing, easy to read. Okay, second book, The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Mixed feelings. I do think that I enjoyed this more than The Love Hypothesis just because there were more cringy moments in The Love Hypothesis than there were in this book. Still a lot of cringe, but overall not bad. I liked the storyline. I liked both of the main characters. It was fairly pleasant, and it was really short, super easy. I rated that 3 stars as well. Then, last but not least, I read One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, and I rated this 4 stars. I think, I think that 4th star was just because it was gay. But it did have a lot more substance than the other two. Still a lot of cringe, but it had a lot more substance and more plotline. The stakes were a lot higher in this book, so I enjoyed that. It kept me reading. I'm interested to see what books they release in the future. I'm not interested in the other books Casey McQuiston has wrote right now that are currently published, but in the future, I am interested. So, that will wrap up this video here. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long time in the making, sort of. Not for you guys, because you're not here. This took me probably 2 weeks to do, which I was not expecting, considering I finished book 1 and almost book 2 within 1 weekend, but, life happens. Okay? Let me know if you have any video suggestions down in the comments. I'm always happy to read them, take them into consideration. I have a little list going on my iPhone notes, so I will add those to that. But anyways, like and subscribe if you like this video. I will be posting more in the future, of course. I'm not going anywhere. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.